Good to go. So, Coach, the first question is not an easy one to ask, but what happened on Saturday?
Well, it's not an easy one to answer. I'm not quite sure. We just got off to a very poor start. The interception followed by the fumbled punt. And Western Oregon grabbed the momentum, and we, for whatever, we just did not respond. And this team's in a little bit of a funk right now. And it's my job as the head coach of this team to get our guys out of it. And we've had a lot of meetings, and the best way you do is you go back to work, you get better, you correct mistakes, and you play another game. And so that's where we're at.
And then last week you mentioned one of the things you really wanted to correct following the game from Central Washington was special teams and doing that. Obviously, there's miscues with blocked punts and drop punt returns.
We're just not very good in the kicking game right now, and it's hard to find something positive. And again, we've met on it. We've changed personnel in some cases. We've adjusted some schematic things that we're doing. But the bottom line, it comes down to coaches and players doing a better job. And there's no excuse to give up a blocked punt like we did. The fumble on with Victor Spencer, he feels terrible about that. Obviously, he's trying to run before he catches the ball, and that's something we just got to continue to work on. It's not an easy task to stand there with your eyes to the sky, waiting for a ball to come down, and you've got a bunch of guys coming down trying to cut you in half. So again, I can promise you this: we will get better.
So you take a lot of the responsibility for yourself, but how much of the onus do you put on your seniors to try to motivate this group?
Well, it starts with me, first of all. I'm in charge of this football team, and so when things go the way they have the last 2 weeks, there should be a lot of finger pointing in my direction. I understand that. It comes with the territory, and if I can deflect some of that away from players, and I'm certainly prepared and willing to do so. But you're exactly right. We've got to identify our leaders. Our leaders need to step up. We need to find that core group of players that have been here before, have been successful, remember those times and what it was that allowed them to be successful, and get back to being it. Are we that 4-0 team that started the season, or are we the 0-2 team the last 2 weeks? I believe we're that 4-0 team, and we can get back to playing that type of ball.
Coach, let's talk about the injury report. Obviously, Alex Rump, I got to see him on the sidelines in some considerable pain. Mm-hmm. What's the situation with him and for other injuries, too?
Alex Rump, our quarterback, is out this week. We don't know if it's a 1 week or longer injury. He's got a shoulder injury with his right arm, his throwing arm. So he's out. Casey Mintz will get the start. Right now, Tony Osalado, the pain he's dealing with in that heel is just excruciating. And when he was in on Saturday, he gave us a great boost. But we're uncertain as to his status for this Saturday. We're also really missing Colton Russey right now, middle linebacker, and the force he can be there for us. He's dealing with a real lingering hamstring issue that most likely will keep him out for at least one more week. And then Brian Sampson, also our starting outside linebacker on the strong side, is going to miss at least this week with an MCL, possibly longer. So we're down some bodies. Those last three I mentioned are three very key players to our defense. And when you lose your starting quarterback and three players on your defense like that, it's a different football team that will run out there come Saturday. Certainly, Casey Mintz getting his first collegiate start at the quarterback position. Probably true freshman Ryan Moreno stepping in at one of the outside linebacker positions. We'll also have Taylor Mitchell, a redshirt freshman, that will step in there to help as well. We got Dylan Huffman, who's going to get more time on the defensive line. He's a true freshman. So again, we'll be running out some very young players and put those players in critical situations where we hope they can respond. But it'll be interesting to see.
How does your guys' game plan change between Rump and Mintz?
Well, obviously, I think we got to pare the game plan, the offensive game plan, down a little bit and tailor it to kind of suit what he does best. He's got very good feet, moves very well, so maybe move the pocket a little bit more. And we got to run the football, and that's really our MO, whether it's Alex Rump or Casey Mintz at quarterback. We've got to run the football effectively. Tough to do so when you get down like we did these past two games, but hopefully we can get off to a good start, establish some momentum offensively, get some stops defensively, and if we can just be sound in the kicking game, we can get back to being the type of team we know we can be.
You guys are on the road taking on Azusa Pacific. You've had success against them earlier in the season. They're still looking for their first conference win For you guys, what is the feeling like taking them on the second time?
Well, it's when you play an 0-6 team, it's always scary because you know that they're going to beat somebody at some point. They're going to get that first win. They're going to have great motivation to do that, and certainly the fact that the games against Humboldt State is just two D2 colleges in the state of California, with a long history going back between the two schools. We know they're going to be highly motivated playing at home, and they have been competitive in every single game they've played, had a chance to beat every team they've played. So again, they're going to get a win at some point. They're certainly talented enough to do that, and they've improved each and every week. So we can't get caught up looking at that record. If we do so, we'll be that first win that Azusa's looking for. But our focus right now is on Humboldt State. It's on getting back to playing the type of football we have before, we know we can, and it's proven to be successful. So that's our work.
After 2 losses in a row, what was the message you gave to your players after the game?
Well, our players are hurting. They're down. They were very, very disappointed in their performance on Saturday. To have that come at home in front of the large crowd, we know there are high expectations, as we want there to be for this football program. And to not only lose, but to lose in the manner that we did, with a lot of very sloppy play, penalties that are inexcusable, mistakes, turnovers, missed tackles. It's just very uncharacteristic of the type of football team we are, the type of football team we have been, that's allowed us to be as successful as we have been. And so where that came from, I think everybody's kind of searching for answers, because how can you go from the type of team we were early on to what we saw Saturday night? That's a hard one to answer. But again, we've got kids with a great deal of pride, strong character, and highly motivated right now to return to playing the type of football we know we're capable of.
All the questions I have. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks, Ron.